Hello and welcome to another live session of Earthworks Hub. I'm your host Ivan Orlovic and you are going live with Ive. That's my new motto and I'm going to stick with it. I like it. Going live with Ive. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Today's Sunday the 11th of May 2025. I don't know about you guys, but I've been to two locations today. So I went to see my parents for lunch, went to see my wife's parents for dinner, and I've eaten, like, all I've been doing is eating, man, all day. I actually feel sick. I've been eating that much. So this scotch will be good to just wash it all down a little bit. So it should be good. Should be good. Let me just move this stuff over a bit so my microphone is a bit more direct. All right. Is that better? Can you guys hear me all right? Okay. Cool. One thing I want to say before we get going is I'm going to have a guest tonight. That's the first thing, so make sure you stay tuned. But a big shout out to Jenna Troy for making these coasters for me. So Jenna Troy has sent these from WA, made on his 3D printer, especially for Earthworks Hub. So a big shout out to Jenna Troy. I did see him, he's on here. Thank you very, very much for these. I really, really, really enjoy them. And look, they're getting used. I've got my scotch sitting on top of it already. So thank you very much. Like I said, I do have a guest. So I've got a guest today. I'm going to do the formalities before I get the guest on. Is that better if I hold it here? I think that's better sound. I'll just hold it here. All right, so I've got a guest coming on. Make sure you hang around. Who is it? Ooh, Drew Excavations is asking who it is. You haven't been looking at my posts because I have been posting about it. I will let you know in a second. All right, so this is being streamed on Instagram and TikTok. So TikTokers are watching this at the same time. So if you do miss part of the episode or you want to go back and hear something, go and watch this on YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcast, which I usually upload after a couple of days. So in a couple of days, there will be this will be up and going. M. Attard has mentioned Starbuck. There you go. Well, Starbuck has already been done. So I put that podcast up yesterday or day before. What did you guys think? I'd love to hear your opinions on that. So I did have Mr. Starbuck back here on the casting couch. It was really, really good. Yeah, really, really good session. A straight shooter, a lot of knowledge, and yeah, basically gave his opinion on a lot of stuff. No bars held. He was actually pretty full on. So a really, really good conversation. If you haven't seen that one yet, James Starbuck from Starbuck Excavations is now out. That podcast is out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple as well. So, and this one will be as well. So that is what's been happening this week. I also set up a new video called 10 Steps to Becoming a Pro Excavator Operator. So it was a video to help out new beginners with operating excavators. So if you haven't seen that video, go to YouTube and look out for that video as well. This microphone is giving me the shits already. Now, go to YouTube and see that. The other things are, don't forget to list your business on earthworkshub.com.au so you can list your business, put it up on the directory so everyone can find you. This week's listing of the week is DST Machinery and Mechanical from Glen Allerdale in Victoria. So it says for all your rural property needs, land clearing, tree removal, fencing, access tracks and general excavations, equipped with 5-ton skid steer, 7.5-ton excavator, tip truck, multiple attachments, they've got you covered. So that is DST Machinery and Mechanical in Glen Allerdale, Victoria. Is that how I say it? Glen Allerdale? Anyway, yeah, so if you want to find them, go to the directory and you will see them on there. So there you go. So that is the listing of the week. And I have a couple of big announcements about sponsors before I go through those. Network Finance have decided to re-sponsor for another year, and they've actually become a gold sponsor now. So Network Finance, thank you so much for that. It's good to see. It's a good feeling when sponsors come back and re-sponsor for another year because it makes me feel like we've done something right. So they're happy with what they've got from us. So Network Finance continuing for another year. So thank you very much to Network Finance for re-sponsoring for another 12 months. And choosing the gold option this year. They've actually upgraded. Another couple of big big sponsorship announcements this week. Tomorrow I'll be putting up a post. Keep an eye out for it. I'll be putting up a post about another new sponsor, another big one. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And there's actually two sponsor announcements coming out this week. So there's more to come. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be full on. And Earthworks Excavations is saying Network Finance are the best in the business. There you go. So no, they're really, really good. I've used them myself, and it's really, I suppose I can vouch for them. They've been really good through the whole process. Wyatt Bartram's saying, hey legend, how are you? All right. Thank you to my sponsors, Moasure Australia, Melbourne Tractors, Spartan Machinery, Digga, Godings, Earth Moving Warehouse. You can see the big sign up there. Record Time, who just joined before, thank you as well. Plastube, PPH, Phillips Plant Hire, Bear Earth Solutions, and also my affiliates, Two Savage, Hard Hat Watches, and Telesin, and now Nevin Eyewear. So another announcement, Nevin Eyewear are also an affiliate, so I'll be giving out a code shortly. You'll be able to get a discount code for Nevin Eyewear. So look out for that. That is coming. Other than that, this week I worked, if you watched my lives during the week, I worked in a 13-tonner. So I was in the case 130B for a couple of days. No, 1 day this week only. Yeah, it was meant to be a few days, but it kept getting delayed. So I was in a 130B case. Not a bad little machine. 7,500 hours, and still no movement in the pins and that. It was actually a really, really tight machine for its age. So that was a good one if you watched me. And other than that, I am prepping for DDT. So before I put the guest on, I'll just tell you quickly about Diesel Dirt and Turf, because I will be going there. So I'll be walking around. So look out for the black Earthworks Hub flag. So come up to me, say hello. Apologies if I'm like a bit scattered because I've spoken to a million people and I don't recognise you immediately. Just forgive me. Bear with me. I've got a big week ahead of me. I've got heaps going on. A couple of big announcements, like I said, happening, which I can't say right now, but I will in the next few days. But look out for me. Yeah, come up, say hello, feel free. What I am going to be doing is at Diesel Dirt and Turf. If you come up to me and say hello, I'm going to give you a secret code or a discount code where you'll be able to list your business using the premium package, which is worth $50. You'll get I'll give you the secret code, and you can use that to list your business and get it for free. But it's only going to be valid during Diesel Dirt and Turf. So I'm going to give anyone that comes up to me and says hello, I'll give you that secret code so that you can list your business for free and save yourself $50 on the website. So if you are going to be there, that's worthwhile coming to say hello. If you weren't thinking about saying hello, at least now you will come up. There you go. So there's a reason to come and see me. Look for the Black Earthworks Hub flag, and you'll see me and my son there. So my son will be up there with me. He's going to be my photographer, so he'll be up and videographer. He'll be in the background. Yeah, come and say hello to my son as well. That's it. Let's do it. Let's talk to the guest. You can hear me.
Cool.
For anyone that doesn't know, guys, this is Baden from Brook. Is it Brook Group Civil? I always say Brook Civil Group.
Yeah. Brook Group. That's us.
That's it, man. Yeah, I always say it the opposite way around. So thank you. Thanks for coming on, man.
No worries. Thanks.
No, beautiful. All right, I'll tell everyone a funny story. I'll tell them how we actually met.
Yeah.
I was doing a live session like I usually do during the day. I usually just put the live screen on. I think it was Instagram or TikTok. It must have been Instagram, yeah?
Watch them on Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. So I was Instagram. I had Instagram live going while I was operating. And then young Baden jumps on and he's having a chat. And then he goes to me, hang on a minute, are you working at this site? He goes, I see the grader. I'm on that. I usually use that grader. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's where I am. And he's like, oh, I actually did all the grading there. I was like, oh, sick. Yeah. So we got chatting, and then what did we do? Did we talk about the podcast then? I can't remember. But then maybe we started, and then I went to the site to work there a few weeks later, and then the next minute I see that grader moving, and I went up to it, and you were in there, and I was like, hang on a second, there he is.
You at first, I'm looking, I'm like, oh no, it sort of looks familiar, and then you come over, and it was you.
Yeah, there you go, man. So good to hey.
It's a small world.
It is, man. It's such a small world. We've got a large industry, but it's a small industry at the same time, man.
100%.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's how we met, guys. Yeah, if anyone's sort of wondering, a bit of an interesting story. So networking, man, people, it's a small world. Everyone knows everyone. And you can just see the power of like what we're doing. Everyone sort of talks and connects and gets to know everyone. And it's just like, it's a really, really good connecting or like a networking thing, you know?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's such a big industry, but so small.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. All right. So look, let's talk a bit about yourself, man. That's what we're here for. Let's start with you and your background and what you guys do. So is that your company?
Brook Group Civil's my company, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I suppose you could say we sort of originated from way back when I was young. My dad had a company, sort of like civil, concreting, and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, like every little kid I grew up on, like my dad.
Yeah.
And he wanted to leave school, and he said, no, you're not coming in this industry. Go pave your own path. So I actually left school and done a bricklaying apprenticeship, and then finished that up and decided that. And so then my brother-in-law has a pretty big company over in WA in the Kimberleys. So I just hit him up and I said, look, I want to get into the industry. Will you give me a gig? And he said, yeah, come up here. So yeah, 18, I packed my ute up and went over to WA, and that's where it all started.
WA, man.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go. That's a big thing, man. It's not like just around the corner.
Nah, 5,000 k's from home.
Wow. So what were you doing there?
Well, like everyone in the industry, I started at the bottom, so labouring for the concreting crew. And obviously when the opportunity arose, I'd jump in like a digger or a bobcat or whatever and help out. But I was not average, but pretty average as an operator back then. I actually had a contract at a mine site at the time, and I was hassling him, every night I went over to my sisters for dinner. I want to go out on the mine site. And he said, well, the only way you're going to get out there is if you want to jump in the service truck and fill up and grease machines. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And so that's what I done. I went out there on a 10 and 4 roster and jumped in the service truck, and that was my job. Fill up all the machines, grease all the machines. And I don't know, at the time you sort of don't like the idea of it. You just want to digger and swing dirt and all the above. But yeah, it was sort of good because I got to learn about, how to grease machines properly, where all the grease points are, blow out air filters, and I learned so much about, different machines. So it was really good foot into the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, it
yeah.
sort of evolved from there. The supervisor, I'd finish my service run, and then the supervisor would chuck me in a roller, or chuck me in the water cart, and then sometimes I get to jump in a digger and just shake dirt, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So yeah.
Oh, there you go, man. And how long did you do that for?
Oh, I was in WA for nearly 3 years, just under 3 years. So my partner actually moved up when she finished school. She moved up from Melbourne as well, and we just had a rental up there, and yeah, stuck over there for 3 years and learned as much as I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, man. That's a big move, man. Even to get her over as well.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
crazy. It was good though.
Yeah. So you're in WA, and then what happens after that? Because you're still a young fella now. How old are you now?
Yeah. Only in my 20s now, early 20s now. So I was in WA, and I sort of was just always keen to just work for myself. And I worked my way up in Macquarie Brown, my brother-in-law's company. So, they gave me a brand new 336, and I was building tailings dams, so trimming batters, and I learned GPS and all that. And then I wanted to learn the grader. That was the thing that I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
So after agging and a lot of hours in a roller and water cart, I finally got my time at a grader. So I started in the old H maintenance grading roads and whatnot. And then, fast forward a couple of years, I was out doing a main roads project, just running the crushing. So just sort of leading hand running that. And it just wasn't enough for me anymore. I wanted to work for myself, and I actually started listening to your podcast then, and I was listening, Aaron Witt and listening to Jimmy Starbuck and all that, and it sort of just inspired me. And I thought, well, it's to get into the industry up there, you have to be pretty big to go, do all the mine site stuff, and the insurances are it's crazy, you know what I mean? So we sort of just decided we'll pack up everything and drive 5,000 k's home, and really all kicked off for me back here.
Yeah. All right. And is that when sort of the Brook Group civil started, or is
Oh,
that like what'd you do then?
nah, yeah. Well, I've always had a company like since like 17. So I've always done cash jobs and all that stuff and, backyard jobs. And then, I come home and I just sort of want to upscale it a bit. So,
Yeah.
funny, I was sitting in the Digger one day and I'm thinking, I've made the move back to Melbourne now, leaving in a week, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I seen LG Group Civil. They put up a post looking for an operator because it was pretty dead in Melbourne at the time. My dad's saying to me, just wait. It's you got work over there. It's quiet over here. And I was like, nah, my mind was made up. So I hit them up and I just said, listen, can I come sub to you guys just as an operator? I don't have a resume, but this is sort of what I can do, and you can figure out what you think of me when I get there. So I jumped on with them, and it sort of just snowballed from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good because a lot of companies can usually tell as soon as you jump in the machine, they can tell. Yeah. So what did
Oh,
you do? Just come in and start working, and they sort of went, "Yep, no worries." Or
when I had a meeting with him, I was like, look, I know I'm young, but I've spent my whole life. I've grown up around this stuff, and then I had some good experience over there, and I'm pretty confident in what I can do. And they said no worries. Let's chuck you in and see how you go. So I went out to a job they had in Beaufort at the time, doing the CFA, and they just threw me around everything: truck, dig, grader, the whole lot. And then they were I guess happy with how how I went. And then I pretty much stuck with them. Like even still now, I operate for them at least 5 days a week myself. They're a bunch of good fellas to work for, actually.
yeah, yeah, good. I suppose when you're on a good thing, man, just stick
Oh,
with it. Yeah.
yeah, especially at the moment, being quiet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true, man. That is true. So, what
Yeah.
type of work are you doing with these guys now? Yeah, what do they do?
Yeah. So they do a lot of like industrial civil, you know what I mean? So like obviously the job that we're on together, stuff like that, a lot of warehouses, factories, and then like shopping centers, schools. They do some really cool projects. So it's been cool to be involved in, you know what I mean? But I do pretty much whatever they need with them. I'm their grader driver, but I'll jump in a digger or truck or roller, whatever they need. You know what I mean? Whatever has to be done, we get in and do.
Yeah, yeah. It's good, yeah, versatility, man. And I suppose anyone that's keen on jumping in machines and that you don't want to be restricted to know just one machine anyway. Yeah, you'd rather know a bit of everything.
Oh, for sure. That's the biggest thing I've found with my time in the industry is the more you know, the better. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like you want to have your niche, and that's a grader for me. Is my niche. I took to it a lot when I was learning it. And my uncle was a very good grader driver, and he taught me. But it's still also handy, because when they don't have grader work, I can jump in the digger, or I can go jump in a dozer, or do what I have to do. So I think it's always a good thing to not be too proud to say, you know what, I'll jump in the roller or whatever you got to do just to get the job done.
Yeah, yeah. And what about, so I noticed on your posts that you've got like this little blue 1.7 tonner and stuff that has your name. What's the story with that little machine?
Yeah. It's funny. A bit of a tax bill come around, and I sat down with the accountant, and she just said, you should probably look at buying something. I thought, oh, okay. So, I just went and got a little 1.7, and look, LG didn't have one, and they were hiring them all the time from ProQuip. And I just said to them, look, I'm buying this anyway, but, if you guys want to hire a digger, hire mine, don't hire anybody else's. So, that a fair bit. I brought it, and then I was like, I do a lot of my own jobs, as you probably see on our page. And I was always just hiring little diggers. I mean, I hire bigger diggers and graders and whatnot anyway, but I was hiring little diggers all the time, and I just thought, I'll just go out and buy one. So I went down to and seen Mark at Melbourne Tractors here, and chucked on an order, and that rocked up, and it's not even here at the moment. It's pretty much been flat out since.
There you go, man. Is that Mark Henry?
Yeah, Mark.
Uh,
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend.
the man, the myth. I bought my first machine from him. He was my first. He was, the first machine I bought, a 20 tonner,
Yeah,
SK210, was from him. Yeah.
yeah. He's so
So
nice. Mose, he's a good fella.
Yeah, so he's still going around. Bloody hell. I haven't seen him for ages.
Yeah,
A long time.
yeah.
He used to call me Ivan Milat. Always, yeah. I remember that.
Funny dude,
Oh,
Mark. Yeah, I'll
yeah,
get along with him well.
yeah, yeah. No, it's been a long time because I always usually deal with Melbourne Tractors more because that's where I bought everything later. But he was the first, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's a good fella. Yeah, he's good to deal with.
yeah, yeah. That's it, man. That's it. All right. What about? So, what's your favorite machine that you've used? I know you say you like the grader, but what's your favorite machine?
Well, yeah, look, the Cat 140M grader, that would be my favorite machine. Um, but the next best would be diggers. I can drive loaders, dozers, and all the above. But yeah, I find diggers and graders, yeah, they do it for me. And yeah, Caterpillar definitely in the graders.
Yeah,
I've jumped in on deers and whatnot, and they don't do it for me. Some people love them and swear by them, but yeah, the Cat would be my preferred brand of choice, definitely.
yeah, yeah. And what about in the machines? What size do you like the best? Like the big ones or the small ones?
Oh, it's hard. Hey, like I remember when I was young, right? And I always thought, oh yeah, I just want to go sit in a big digger and swing dirt all day. And then I got a brand new 36, and I put 3,000 hours on it, and it was cool, but I sort of got bored of it after a while. So actually now I sort of prefer, anywhere from 8 to 15 ton digger. I find they're always doing more tricky, versatile jobs. You know what I mean? Where a bigger digger can't get. I find once you go up past like the 30-ton digger plus, all you're really doing is loading trucks and just doing bulk earthworks, and I find it gets pretty monotonous after a while.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Because I had that with my 20s. All the guys used to complain after a while. All I'm doing is sorting and loading. I'm sick of it. And then they were trying to convince me to get a 13. So I ended
Yeah,
up buying I ended up buying the 13, and they loved it. Everyone that sat in it later was saying, "This is the best," because you can be doing electrical trenches, then you can be loading trucks, then you could be doing something else, then digging roads, and then yeah. So you're doing all a
yeah.
versatile thing. Yeah,
Well, it's funny you say that. So yeah, I think
what's
that's our purchase will be 13 to 15 ton digger. Well, there's one that we have actually pre-ordered. So
mhm.
for the sole purpose of for us, you can still do small enough jobs like you say. You can go dig electrical trenches and dig pits, but you can still sort of sit on a stockpile and load trucks if you have to. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So yeah, I find them just such a versatile machine, size wise, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true, man. That's true. And what about when it comes to GPS and that on your machines? Are you using Trimble or one of those? What?
Yeah, I'm a Trimble man. Yeah, I don't like anything other than Trimble. I've used all the other brands. I mean, I think it's just really operator preference, but I learnt with Trimble, so yeah, it's all right. It's just like second nature, you know what I mean? I jump on a top con screen, I'm like, oh, what I mean? What is this?
Yeah,
So I'll definitely Trimble through and through. There's no
yeah,
doubt about.
yeah. Oh, we've got a question here. Hang on. So TR Society, Tilt Rotator Society.
Yeah,
That's Brett, by if no one knows anyway. What's one hurdle you've had in your career or business that you have had to overcome? So what's any big hurdles that you had?
mate, I'm dealing with that at the moment. So we've been lucky enough. I've got a contract out on a couple of big fill sites that are taking some dirt for some major infrastructure projects in Melbourne. So I'm basically just supplying operators out there through my company. And the biggest challenge I'm finding at the moment is everyone's saying there's no work, but God, it is hard to find a good operator and somebody that's up to what they say they can do. So that's probably the biggest I've found so far, and yeah, I'm finding it difficult to keep everyone happy and actually get somebody that can back up what they say they can do.
And you know what? It's a very common thing, man. It's not just you. Yeah, I think it's very, very common. A lot of operators, but how many good ones? Yeah, exactly.
I just find, people showing up on time, being punctual, being polite, and just doing their job. I seem to go through 5 people before you might find one good one, and then you sort of just got to cradle them and hold on to them and do the best you can for them.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, you know what? There's probably good operators, but they haven't got all that other personality stuff, which spoils it, or they're not punctual or this or that. But then you got ones that are really punctual on that and want to be there, but they're actually no good on the machine.
Yeah,
You can never get that mix, yeah.
yeah, and they tend to get pretty upset when you try to tell them in a polite way that it's not working out. You're a great person, but it's just not what we need.
Yeah, yeah. And what about is that? Do you reckon that's a training thing, or do you reckon it's just like a personality thing?
I think it's just there's a lot of people with the right attitude, but it's not necessarily. I'll just say they haven't had the opportunities. You know what I mean? And sometimes they go for jobs thinking that this is their opportunity, but as you know yourself, sometimes you can have somebody with not much experience because they've got the good attitude and they want to be there. You're happy to let them kick away in the corner and do their thing, and it works out. But yeah, project like this, it's just sort of it doesn't matter how good your attitude is. You sort of need to have the experience to back it up, which is hard for people too as well. Don't get me wrong, it's very hard to get a seat and get the experience.
Yeah, it is, man. And like, not everyone was lucky to have the opportunities that you had. You know what I mean? So, what would you say to anyone that is thinking about starting out as an operator now? What would you say to them?
Look, it's a big bad world out there, and more so not a lot of work around. So you're gonna have days where just walk around in mud and you think, oh, this is shit. You're gonna have to start at the bottom. I know everyone says it, but it is the truth. Unless you've been kissed on the arse, yeah, you're starting at the bottom as a toppy or a labourer. And instead of looking at it in a bad way, just take the opportunity to learn what you can while you're on the ground, because there will be a time where you're up in the seat and you're thinking about everything and you don't get to stop, and you sort of look down at the labourer and think, gee, I wish I had his job today.
Yeah.
So just start at the bottom and make the most of it. Learn everything you can about how a civil job runs, instead of sitting in a roller and sleeping because you don't have to do anything while the grade is great, and look at him and look at what he's doing. Learn.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, actually watch what people are doing, so that when you're in that machine, you know why you're doing something. You know what I mean, isn't it?
It makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Anyone can jump the digger, and I'm a big believer after a couple of hours they can swing a digger around. They know how to move one, but it's the whole point is, how am I going to do this? Where am I going to start? Where am I going to finish? And is it going to screw me up? Or
Yeah, so true. Hey, Drew Excavation's got a question. I think he tried to ask this one last week, but he didn't get around to it.
Oh yeah.
If you had one, I don't know why he's got exactly, but he's got $129,000. He must have exactly 129. If you had 129,000 in your earth moving company, what would you buy? He must be talking about what machine would you buy.
Well, if you want my honest opinion, I wouldn't use my 120 grand to go buy a machine. I'd go finance one and use the bank's money and keep that money for cash flow. But if I had access to 130 grand or $129,000, it just depends on the jobs that I was doing and where I was at. I'd just really look back and see what was going to be most beneficial for my company, whether that be couple of 1.7 ton diggers, or maybe a 15 ton digger, or might be a bobcat with a grader blade or something. It's hard to say, really. It depends on your business.
Yeah, it does. Because if you're a little landscaping mob, you only probably need small stuff. There's no point buying a 20 tonner. But yeah, if you're on civil, then bigger machines. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother told me there's no point having flash gear parked up in your yard because it doesn't pay for itself.
I like that. That's a good one. Yeah, very true. That's very true. The flashy gear doesn't always pay the bills, man. Yeah.
Definitely not. Everybody likes the flash. Sometimes if it's parked up in the yard, it's just as good as the digger with 10,000 hours on it parked up in the yard.
Yeah, so true. Jenna Troy is saying he trains people every day and it's time that lacks, but I revisit and revisit until they feel confident with what they are doing. I suppose, time. And yeah.
I think that's true too. So that's another thing where I was lucky. 3 years in WA, their average work day is 10 hours, and that's 10 hours, and you have your break, so it works out to be a 10.5 hour day with your lunch break. But when I was out on the mine site, it's 12.5 hour days, so you work 12 hours and have a half an hour lunch break. So in Melbourne, a busy machine might do 2,000, 3,000 hours a year, maybe. But over there, like it's not out of the blue for a machine to be doing 6,000 hours in a year because it's 12 hours of the day it's working.
Yeah.
So I definitely, you know what I mean, an operator in Melbourne, what they were getting in 2 days, I was sort of gaining in 1 day. Does that make sense? You know, just because the days were so big, and then I was doing 2-week swings, you know what I mean? So while everyone was out partying on a Saturday night, you know, I was laying in bed at my donger and, working Saturday and Sunday. And then, I think time in the seat is a very big thing. So I think I was very lucky there.
Yeah, time in the seat, man. That's what it is. You're right. Yeah, time in the seat. Yeah, definitely. Someone was asking the question here. They were saying you used to be a great bricklayer. Is that true?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say good.
No.
No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it at the start, but yeah, it's just like I said, my old man was in the industry since I was young. You know, he always had a few small diggers or whatever back at home, and I sort of always loved it. And then just wanted to pursue it when the opportunity was there.
Yeah, that's it. Well, instead of swinging the trowel, now we're swinging the bucket around. Yeah.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, that's it. I suppose we are. We're like big kids, man. We get to play these big toys.
Oh, mate,
and I think that attracts people, doesn't it? Hey?
Yeah, I'm a massive kid. I could honestly go walk around a dealership all day and just look at different machines, but yeah, my partner won't let me.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I go sometimes and I take my son with me, and you think little kids, well, he's not little anymore, but kids will be excited, mate. And I'm the one that's more excited than him. I'm like, oh, check this out. Look at this. And he's like, I just want to go home, Dad. And I'm like, wait, let's have a look at this thing. Yeah, I'm like a big kid in there. I don't know why they're different to us, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's something drilled into us, I guess. I don't know. It's wired in our brains.
Yeah. What's he saying now? Tilt Rotator Society's got another question. He's saying, noting that you're having trouble finding good workers, have you thought about implementing some technologies to replace them? I don't know. Can you replace them with technology? I don't know.
Not really. I mean, I'm looking for dozer and grader operators out on a field site. So not really. You know what I mean? There's not really any technology that can replace them as of current. It's just, I mean, there's technology to help find them, but definitely can't replace them though.
Yeah, not yet. It might be,
one day.
Eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's
you see.
Quick.
It is coming quick, man. You see all these new, like simulators and that, and machines working on their own in the mines without any operators at all. So you never know, man. It might come around soon.
Be in the next 5 years. You don't know.
Yeah. True. What's he saying? TR Society is saying Cat Command. What is that? What is Cat Command? I don't even know what that is.
Command? No, I never heard. I don't know whether it's got something to do with Cat Grade.
Oh, remote digging. Yeah, he's talking about what we were saying. Yeah, Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary stuff.
Yeah, it's funny, man. And you see those, the Moxies reversing up under the bucket without any drivers, machines loading them out. That's so crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a massive thing in WA now.
Yeah. What about, since we're talking about TR Society, have you used a tilt rotator?
Yeah. So my brother-in-law, they actually have a 310 cat with GPS, and has an Engcon on it. So I spent a bit of time in that, just on my off swing, when I'd have my week off just in town digging for the concreters, doing detailed excavations. I quite like them. I do find them handy, but they definitely are a very purpose-built attachment.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Like they're just useful for certain things, you mean, or?
Yeah, I mean, like if you're loading trucks, like as Jimmy said himself, if you're loading trucks, you're not gonna. Why would you have an Engcon? It's sort of silly if you're moving bulk material. But if you're doing detailed excavations and whatnot, they're great. They're so versatile. You know what I mean? Or yourself, when you just got the standard hitch, sometimes you got to spin the bucket around, to give dust to the pipe layer or whatever you're doing. Yeah, it sort of eliminates a lot of that. They're good.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's like you say, purpose built. Depends on what you do. A good question, but sorry, go ahead.
It's just horses for courses.
Yeah, it is. Curtis Matthews is saying, any advice for someone looking at buying a digger and starting out on their own? What about when you were buying your little 1.7? What made you go for that brand or that machine?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm actually a cat person myself, and look, for me, it wasn't the price range. I mean, this is a very touchy subject. A lot of people have the whole mentality of you buy the cheaper machines and yeah, you have bigger profit margin on jobs. And that is true to an extent. But a big thing I look at is resale value, because when you're buying a machine, in my eyes, you're investing in something. And one day you're going to be wanting to trade that in for something else. So resale is a big thing for me. But honestly, the breaking point for me, we looked at some cats, was I had a lot of jobs that I was pricing at the time where it was tight access and the roof needed to come off. And the cats were just so much harder because they've got the screen attached and whatnot, and all the technology to just simply, you know what I mean? The SK 1.7, it's 4 bolts and you lift it off, it's done. It's just, they haven't tried to reinvent the wheel. It worked. They didn't need to fix it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, man. And is that because you also knew you were going to be renting it out? You just wanted a smaller machine then?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that was the thing with the 1.7. It was, they're just versatile. I knew I would have use for it. And everybody, I mean, everybody does it now. They buy 1.7. It's on dry hire, but I never brought it with the intentions to dry hire the machine.
Oh, okay.
I brought it with the of, I needed to buy something. I knew I could use that specific machine, and the dry hire was just really a bonus.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, good. You gotta like that.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
It's always good.
Yeah, that's it. How do you find that when you dry hire? I mean, do you dry hire to anyone else, or is it just that company that you work for?
Yeah, so yeah, to them boys a little bit when they need it or whatever. But yeah, I do to a few other people. Definitely. Uh, yeah, it's a hard one because there's nothing more disheartening than when you got a brand new machine come back and somebody's put a nice big scratch on a zero swing digger,
Yeah.
1.7, and you think, how is that possible? But it's just the risks that come associated with it, I guess. You've sort of just got to break that barrier and go, oh, well, it's a digger, it's not a Lamborghini, you know what I mean? It's going to get scratched.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hire it out a fair bit to just random people that find my page or whatever. And yeah, it's good. Some people bring it back and I think, wow. And then other people, they surprise me actually.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's always hard, man. And you're right. Exactly what you said is you got to cut the umbilical cord there. So yeah,
Yeah,
you just got to not think of it. Don't get attached to it. It's a piece of equipment.
that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah. No, true. That's good. So smart decisions, man. You're looking at different options. Obviously, you did some calculations beforehand. TR
Yeah,
Society saying, yeah, if you dry hire, you need to have the mindset that it's not your personal machine. Yeah, exactly. It's just a money making machine.
correct.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah,
Buy
no,
some intentions of dry hiring it and expect it to stay immaculate because there's people that are sitting in it that have maybe never sat in a digger before. That was another selling point too. I mean, you go like at the cat or whatever, great machine, but so's the Cabelco. But you just sort of, if you know you're going to be dry hiring it out, it was a hard thing for me spending a little bit of extra money. Yeah, there's a few extra qualities that you get with that machine, but when Tim down the road is digging a shed slab for himself, he doesn't care whether it's cat or Cabelco. He doesn't know. He just wants to dig the hole and have it done. So, and you only get the same rate. It's a very competitive market.
yeah. I think that's probably why, like what Starbucks was saying the other day, like a lot of people are opting for the Chinese because they're saying, well, if I can buy that for a quarter of the price or whatever, less money than a Japanese one, just say, then and I'm going to rent it out for the same as what everyone else is renting. Well, then I'm making extra money. But yeah, there's like you say, there's different aspects to that. Maybe resale might not be a problem later when everyone's got one. Who knows?
And that's the thing. Like, I don't want to contradict myself. Like, what he's saying, I do agree with to an extent. But yeah, from where I come from, over in Broome, and that the reason they, Macquarie Brown always brought cat was one, it's the only place you could get parts from. It's not like Melbourne. There's not 100 different dealerships. The nearest dealership is in Port Hedland or in Perth. You know what I mean? So parts is a big thing for them, but resale, I just always got taught, it is an asset, and one day you're going to want to get rid of it. And it's like when you have a shitty car. People know if you have a shitty car with 100,000 Ks on it, they know it's life's nil at the end. It's you pay for the bags, is really what it is.
Yeah, yeah. All right. And what about, so if you could go back, so knowing everything you know now and that, would you do something different? Would you like start it out in a different way, or would you have just done the exact same?
No, look, there's always, you look back and there's certain scenarios you go, I probably shouldn't have done that, or I could have dealt with that better. But no, I don't think in the aspect the way we've sort of gone about scaling and growing, I would do things much different. But yeah, if anything, I probably would say that maybe if I could go back now, I would have stayed in WA for maybe just an extra 6 months or so. But yeah, then again, it's sort of hard. I probably wouldn't be at the stage I'm at now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So for now, so basically, so what do you do? So you only have that machine, and then you just contract yourself out to all the other guys, and then and operators as well now.
So we got that machine. We do a lot of our own jobs, so a lot of price jobs, just like backyard jobs, or sometimes the small builders. A lot of the equipment we hire. LG help me out sometimes or whatnot. I know enough people in the industry, so yeah, I do a lot of that sort of stuff myself every day. I'm pretty much with LG, which is good. It's a good thing now. I get along with them. They're great to work for. And then, just the contract that I've got at the moment on a few field sites. So, yeah, just got a few operators working for me out there, which is a good thing. It ticks along and helps pay some bills. And, yeah, hopefully we can riddle our way in there a bit more. See what
we lost.
Work out that one.
We lost you then. Hang on. It went all quiet. Yeah. Are you there again?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, it just died for a second. I don't know what happened. Yeah. You're saying see how it goes?
Yeah. Just plod along out there. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's good. It just ticks over and helps pay a few bills. And yeah, it's good. I'm learning more and more.
Yeah. Good. What about tell us how you went through COVID? Did you experience any like major hassles in that, or how was it for you, man?
Nah, not really. COVID was busy. I found in the building industry as a whole was flat out. Yeah, I found myself. We were busy, and I sort of used to laugh, not in an arrogant way, but there was a lot of teachers in school that sort of you're not going to do much in life or whatever. And yeah, I was an essential worker in COVID, so yeah, it was good. It was good. Busy.
Yeah, I think it's a very common story, isn't it? Everyone was pretty flat out back then. Now it's gone quiet. It's like we did too much back then or something. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. It's weird at the moment. It is dead.
Yeah, we must have gotten too far ahead or something, man. Because it's like we were all flat out back then, and then suddenly it's just gone like totally quiet. It's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy, and just like there's a lot of big mobs, as you know yourself, and they've just scaled right down and pulled the reins right back. So it's different. I've never seen in my time in the industry. I've seen quiet patches, but yeah, even in bricklaying and that, there was always quiet patches, but not like it's been down here.
Yeah. Would you ever go back to the mines? Or what would you say to someone that's thinking about going to the mines? Because a lot of people do ask me, is it worth going? What would you say to someone?
Yeah, very controversial. If you're a young fella and you want to learn and you're willing to put in the hard work, definitely go over there. I never look back. But I do think it's a young person's thing. It's hard when you've got relationships and whatnot back home. But yeah, definitely give it a crack. I learned so much over there that will stick with me forever.
Yeah. What's it like? You went over there. So did you have to fly at all? Like you have to fly in and fly out, or not really? You just drove.
I lived over in Broome in the town. So yeah, the mine site I was on was 3 hours, not quite, it was 2.5 hours from town. So we just all on a bus, drive in, drive out. So we had the option for 10 and 4 roster or 2 and 1 roster.
Yeah.
I
don't know how guys do it, man. Like I see a lot of my mates and they all like flying in, flying out, and I'm like, Aren't you sick of just going on that plane all the time?
Yeah, I think you get to a stage like when I was, first 18, I didn't really care because I was so interested in the industry. And I knew if I passed up the opportunity, you know what I mean, I knew it was never going to come back. But then I sort of got to a stage, it's like it gets to a day before your drive out day, and all you can think about is what you're going to do on your off swing. And then it gets to your drive out day, and it's like, I can't even explain the excitement. You're like, yeah, I'm getting out of here. This is great. And then you spend 2 days just sleeping because you're just tired, you know what I mean, just relaxing. And then you might spend one day doing a bit of shit, whatever you're into. And then all of a sudden it's like the anxiety kicks in because, tomorrow you're jumping back on the bus and you're gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, true, man. Yeah, it must be hard. Everyone thinks, it's easy. It's all cool money, this and that. But yeah, there's a lot more to it.
It's honestly too, I mean, everybody rattles on about the money. I mean, the money is great. You definitely work for it. You know what I mean? You are away from your friends, your family. You got to be prepared to miss out on a lot. Like I missed a lot of things, a lot of birthdays. Birthdays, Easters, and things like that. You know what I mean? Things that a lot of people just couldn't come to terms with missing out on. Especially when you're young. Your mates are having their 18th birthdays, and you see it all over social media, and you're 5,000 k's over the other side of the country in a donga.
Yeah, so true, man. Yeah, when you think about it like that, it's not probably as good as it seems. Yeah, exactly.
Nah.
Yeah.
Is priceless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about expos and that? So these Dirt and Turfs coming up. Do you go to any of that sort of stuff?
No, I never have. Hey, I've always sort of wanted to, but I've never personally been to any of them. But it's something that I do. Because my favorite thing about the industry is meeting the people you meet, and like you said earlier, the networking. I'm a big believer in it. And I always like meeting new people, and no two people are the same. Everybody has different opinions, so it's definitely something I want to, get into. Go have a look around. The big world out there, so it'd be cool, I think.
Yeah, you get to see new machines, new technology, new attachments, new, like what's going on in the industry. Meet people, like you say, and stuff like that. It's good. They're good events. They're good to go to.
Correct. They're just you're with a bunch of people that have the same interests as you.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's true, man. That's true. Have you ever had to travel outside of Australia for work?
Not outside of Australia. No, I mean WA. That's about it, and all over Victoria.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about, like, what are your aspirations, man? Like, where do you see yourself going in the next few years?
Slowly scaling, which is a hard thing. I mean, our LG have given me a great foot in the door, and the stuff I do with them is cool. But slowly scaling, I'd like to put a few more people on. Definitely get a few more machines on, but it's just all about finding the right work. Because at the end of the day, as much as we love it, it's not a hobby. It's got to be a business. So yeah, we definitely want to scale a few more bigger machines, more people on, and just see where it takes us really.
Yeah. Would you say that, well, like the system you've got right now might actually work well? Like just not actually having too many machines, but just subbing yourself out as an operator? Like, is that basically what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's great. It's a hard thing because I actually love going and jumping in the grader and working in with them, and I still enjoy that. But it's hard too because when you're on a job for them, they're actually paying for you to work for them. So when you're getting a phone call off an operator that is, working for you somewhere else, that's another hard thing I'm finding to manage. As they'd be well within their rights. They're not paying me to, run my business on their time. So I think it's a good thing, but it's obviously it can't be a forever thing. You know what I mean? Just it is hard sometimes. You can't, you need to answer that phone call, but you're also talking to somebody around about the current situation you're in. So it's challenging, but it's working at the moment. We're making it work, so it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good. And what about, is there any stuff that you want to add, man? Is there questions that I haven't asked that you want to talk about?
Not really. I think we've covered a fair bit of stuff. No, not really. there's nothing I could really add other than, yeah, if you want to get into the industry, just bite your tongue and start at the bottom and work your way up, and it will pay off. But yeah, other than that, go for it. Have a crack.
Yeah, that's it, man. So if anyone is a decent operator, I suppose, or experienced, are you looking for more people, or can they hit you up if they're in Victoria and come and see you?
Definitely, yeah. If anybody's looking for work, yeah, I'm chasing some you don't have to be a final trim dozer operator, but you just got to be confident and yeah, just go to work and do your job. And yeah, grader operators as well. So if there's anybody who's same thing, I don't need you to be final trim, like on grade 140 or any of that stuff. But yeah, if you can drive a grader and you can push dirt around and you're confident enough, definitely please hit me up.
Yeah, beautiful. So if anyone does want to get in touch, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Honestly, the best way is call me. I think I don't do the whole resume thing myself. I'd rather just call me, we'll have a chat, and then let's just meet up in person. And I think that for me personally, I think that's the best way to do it. You can have something nowadays more so, with AI and everything, people can put whatever they want on a bit of paper. I think it's just best to meet in person. You'll either get along and like each other and it'll work or it won't.
Yeah, that's true. And I suppose then you can put them on for a trial sort of thing and see what happens, yeah?
For sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no, good. All right, so what I'll do then is I'll add your details into the description on this podcast. So if anyone wants to get in touch, or I suppose, what about even on Instagram? I suppose they can hit you up under Brook Group Civil, yeah?
Yeah, Instagram or Facebook, you'll find us. So all my contact details will be on there. So yeah, give me a call. I mean, if you want to shoot me an email, you can do that too. But yeah, give us a call or a text or whatever, DM.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, you know what? Before we go, I remember you were wearing a hat, one of those hard hats when I was there. Is that one of those cool hard hats? Those ones that you can make them, you can get them made?
Actually, an ANG Pipelines hard hat.
Is it?
So yeah. That's oh god, I've had that for ages. Yeah, that's actually one of my dad's. He's got a whole massive collection in his shed there. So I've had that for years and years.
There you go, man. Because I've seen those. You know which ones I'm talking about? Guys that got them, like you can get them specially made.
Yeah, it's cool. Of them actually, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get some made for myself. So he did hit him up, but they haven't got back to me yet. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'll follow them up. I thought you might have had one.
They are cool, definitely.
Yeah,
they stand out.
That's it, man. And I like the brim. I used to laugh at guys that had the wide brim, but I actually think it works better when I think about it.
Funny, like when I first got in the industry, everybody used to wear the just with the one brim hard hats. And same thing, look at form workers and they always seem to have the brim hard hats. And same thing, I was always like, oh, they're a bit odd. But now it's sort of changed. Everybody's wearing them. Nobody really wears the peak hard hats anymore. That's funny.
I still do, yeah. No, I do. I know. Like the ones I've got, I think I've got one somewhere here. Wait, where is it? Somewhere in the back there.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, it's down there. There you go.
Yeah.
It's down the back there.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. They're the old. I used to just go to Bunnings and get one, man. It was like $12 because I used to lose them all the time. So I just used to keep buying them from Bunnings, man. Just get another one.
You're a better bloke.
But I will.
Out of my dad's shit.
Yeah, that's it. Keep pinching them, man. Oh man. Cool, man. Cool. Now, look, I think this was a really good chat. I love it. I love talking to guys from all different parts of the industry, big, small, just a whole range of things. And I think it makes for good content, and hopefully everyone's happy on here listening to this sort of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Brett King. Brett King saying you're so old school, those helmets. Don't tease me, Brett. He wears Crocs. He's got Crocs in his cab. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, no, good, man. Good. I'm really, really happy to have had you on. Anything else before we go?
What was that, sorry?
No, anything else before we go?
Nah, thanks for having me. Nah. I think we've covered a whole heap of stuff. It's been good. It's been fun. Thanks for having me, and I'm sure I'll see you around a job spot sooner or later.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. Actually, I was supposed to be.
What's that?
No, I was supposed to be at your job. I think because did you guys put the base down already?
Yeah. So that's all finished up now. We've just got to trim. Got to trim the other half of the inside of the last factory, but that's not for another couple of weeks, and that's it. That's us all wrapped up there. I mean, we'll have to go back and probably maybe final trim a bit more stuff at the end. I don't really know, but yeah, as far as I know, we're pretty much wrapped up there.
Yeah, because I was meant to come and load out that soil that you ripped up with the grader,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and then they ended up changing me over to Spotswood to the other job, and I had to work with I think it's Ben. Does Ben work for you guys?
Yeah.
I was with Ben I was with him on Thursday. Yeah, digging out for some concrete there, and I was like, yeah. They gave me the hard job. They're like, oh, we'll swap you over. You just go and do that one, and we'll go load the trucks out. That's my mate. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Now you go do the easy job, and I'll get sent to the other one.
You get the.
Yeah, I knew it. As soon as you said you're going to Spotswood, I was like, I knew it. Anyway, no, good, man. I'll see you on some of the other job sites. Thank you very much for jumping on, and thank you to all the listeners. If anyone has missed something and wants to go back and listen, this all gets uploaded to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, so you can listen in anytime. If you want to get in touch with Baden, if you're an operator looking for work, I'll put his details up in the description, or look for Brook Group Civil on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah,
That's him.
All right. Thank you to everyone. Happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers out there. Look out for me at DDT this week, everyone. I don't know if I'm going to get an episode out on next Sunday because I'll be at DDT and that. And there's no reception over there, man. It's really crap from memory. So I really highly doubt there'll be any episode next week. So I'll let you know now. I might as well call it. I won't do one next week because it's just going to be impossible. And then I'll just have another one when we get back. So yeah, look out, guys. Big things happening this week. Look out for me at DDT. And hit up Baden if you're looking for work. Thanks again, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For trucks, obviously. On the lot.
Really like when on the weather.